Hello and welcome to English in Real Life, the podcast where we talk about the everyday lives of people across the UK. I'm your host, Mark, and today we're diving into a topic we can all relate to, the daily routine. Our routines shape our days, our productivity, and even our well-being. To help us explore this, I'm delighted to welcome Crystal to the show. Crystal is a marketing manager living and working in the lovely town of Reading. Crystal, thanks so much for joining us.
Hi, Mark. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So, let's jump right in. Let's talk about the start of your day. Are you an early bird or someone who prefers to hit the snooze button a few times?
I'm definitely an early bird. My alarm is set for 6:30 every morning. I find that first hour is my golden hour, you could say. It's quiet and I can have a coffee and just gather my thoughts before the day officially begins.
That sounds very disciplined, so a peaceful start. What about breakfast? Are you a big breakfast person?
Not really. I tend to keep it quite simple. It's usually something quick and easy, like porridge with some fruit or maybe some toast with jam. I save the big cooked breakfasts for the weekend as a treat.
Right, that makes sense. A full English breakfast on a Tuesday morning might be a bit much.
Exactly. You just want to go back to bed.
So, after breakfast, it's time to head to the office. Now, Reading is a busy place. How do you manage the commute?
Well, this is one of my favorite parts of the day, actually. I walk to work.
Oh, really? That's quite lucky.
It is. I'm very fortunate to live close enough. It's about 25-minute walk, and it's brilliant. It really helps me clear my head before I get to the office and switch into work mode. I'll often listen to a podcast or just enjoy the fresh air.
I can imagine. It must be a great way to decompress on the way home, too.
It really is. It creates a nice separation between my work life and my home life. The walk home is the signal that the workday is over.
So, you've arrived at the office feeling refreshed from your walk. Could you give us a little glimpse into your life as a marketing manager? What does a typical workday look like for you? Let's fast forward to the end of the day. You've finished your walk home, you're back in your own space. What does your evening routine look like? How do you unwind?
Of course. My role is quite varied, which I love. The first thing I do when I get in is check my emails and my calendar for the day. I like to have a clear plan of my priorities. That usually involves a mix of meetings with my team, brainstorming sessions for new campaigns, and a good amount of time spent on data analysis, looking at how our current marketing efforts are performing. Unwinding for me usually involves cooking. I love putting on some music and just focusing on making a nice meal. It feels quite creative and is a good contrast to the more analytical parts of my job.
It sounds very dynamic. Is it a high-pressure environment? That brings us to a big question. In this age of convenience, with food delivery apps just a tap away, do you find you cook most nights?
I do, yes. I probably cook about 5 or 6 nights a week.
That's impressive.
I just genuinely enjoy it, and it often ties in with my walk home. There's a supermarket on my route, so it's easy to just pop in and grab whatever I need for dinner that evening. It means I can decide on the day what I fancy eating.
So you're more of a buy-it-fresh person rather than someone who does a big weekly shop or orders groceries online?
A little bit of both, to be honest. I get the heavy, bulky stuff, tins, pasta, cleaning supplies, delivered once every couple of weeks. But for fresh things like vegetables, meat, or fish, I much prefer to buy them on the day. It feels less wasteful as I only buy what I know I'm going to use.
That's a very practical approach. It's the best of both worlds, really.
It works for me.
And what's on the menu on a typical weeknight? Are we talking elaborate three-course meals?
Oh, goodness, no. Nothing that complicated. I'm all about meals that are healthy, tasty, and don't take hours to prepare. Things like a nice stir fry with lots of vegetables, or maybe a simple pasta dish, or salmon with some roasted veg. Quick, easy, and satisfying.
That sounds delicious. And what about those 1 or 2 nights a week where you don't cook? Is that when you'd order a takeaway?
Usually, yes. Friday is often takeaway night. It's a nice way to kick off the weekend, to not have to think about cooking or washing up. I'll order a curry or a pizza and just relax on the sofa.
Classic Friday night in. You can't beat it. It sounds like you have a very structured and productive week. How do you approach your weekends? Is it a chance to let the routine go completely, or do you still like to have a plan? So, after dinner, what does the rest of the evening hold? Are you catching up on emails, or do you properly switch off?
I try my absolute best to switch off completely. I think it's so important. I'm not a big TV watcher, but I might watch a film or a bit of a series. Mostly, though, I like to read. I find getting lost in a good book is the best way to leave the stresses of the day behind.
That's a wonderful habit to have. It sounds like you've crafted a routine that really works for you, with these clear boundaries between the different parts of your day.
It's taken a while to get it right, but yes. The walk, the cooking, the reading, they're all little rituals that help me stay balanced. It's not always perfect, of course. Some days are chaotic, but having that structure to fall back on makes a huge difference.
I think that's a fantastic note to end on. It's not about perfection, but about creating a framework that supports your well-being. Crystal, it has been an absolute pleasure hearing about your day. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
Thank you again for having me, Mark. It was lovely to chat.
And that's all we have time for on this episode of English in Real Life. A big thank you to our guest, Crystal, and to all of you for listening. Join us next time for another conversation about life in the UK.